What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of The Most Underrated. Today, I wanted to. A lot of people always ask me for advice and like on how to make music, how to make it in music, and all of this stuff. So, I figured I'd just make this video and condense it all down and just have a conversation about it. And first and foremost, like, I'm not really qualified to give y'all this advice, but I also understand that, I'm further along in this business than most people or a lot of people or whatever. So I'm going to lay it all out there for y'all anyways. Number one is equipment. That mic behind me that you see is a Slate ML1. It costs like $300. I make everything on that. And when I go and record with Baby Bash, we go to a dude named Bruce Bang down in Houston, and he uses that same microphone, or at least he has every single time I've recorded with him. And that's the same mic that records Paul Wall, Baby Bash. It's recorded Slim Thug, like all types of multi-platinum selling artists. It don't take much. That's what I use. Slate has a new version out called, I can't remember what it's called. It's like $900, I think. I've never used it. I'm sure it's great. Slate makes great products. When I bought that mic, it was like $800, $900, and that was when the first stimulus hit. That's what stimuli. That's when the first stimulus checks hit. So yeah, man. Don't take much as far as the mic goes. As far as my interface goes, let's see if you can see it right there. It's a SSL 2x2. SSL 2x2. And the reason why I bought it is because it's made by SSL, which is the same company that makes most of those big boards you see in studios with all the faders and stuff like that. They're made by SSL, and I bought SSL's interface because they use the same components inside that they use in the big boards. It's just instead of 48 channels or whatever, you have 2. My computer, my homie helped me custom build it. But if you're on a budget, I would get a PC and try to put as much RAM as you can in it, and that's about it. I mean, it does take a lot of RAM to do some music related stuff, and if you end up wanting to do your own videos or anything like that, that's going to take even more RAM and a good graphics card. But at the end of the day, a computer with at least 16 gigs of RAM will do you just fine if you're making music. So that's the basics for equipment. Other than that, I have my guitars, bass guitar, electric guitar. Both of those combined were like 120, no, wait, what was it? No, like $200, 220, 230 bucks at a pawn shop, bro. I just, there's so many of them in there, and I just picked which ones I kind of liked a little. I don't really know shit. Then there's the acoustic guitar right here. That's what you see me play the most. I got that guitar when I was like 12, and it was like $400 or $500 back then. I got it as a gift from my dad, I think for a birthday or something. And I really like it. It's sentimental to me. I probably do need a new one. I'll get one eventually, but for right now, this one's doing me just fine. It's an electric acoustic. So I can plug it in or play it into a mic, or both is what I usually do, actually. So that's all the equipment that I use, man. Other than that, it's all just software. I would tell somebody, go get the Waves Platinum Bundle. It goes on sale like twice a year for like $100. Black Friday around that time is a good time to get it. And those are all the plugins I use is Waves. Like, I don't even use Antares Auto-Tune. I use Waves Tune, which is their version of Auto-Tune. And then Pro Tools is like, I want to say like $35 a month, something like that. FL Studio, I don't even know, but those are the 2 programs I use, Pro Tools, FL Studio. And then I have some other like subscriptions to I have a subscription to Splice that I haven't used in months. I have a subscription to Suno AI to make loops and samples and stuff. And then I have Arcade too, which I also haven't used that in months. So you really don't even need them. Like I said, I haven't used most of them plugins in a really long time. So once you got the equipment out the way, here's the important part. Here's the meat and potatoes of this. Here's my advice, like my actual advice. Is because the equipment is really just like, what's your budget? You know, if you want to spend $500, you can get right for $500 and be able to make music tomorrow. But if you want to spend $20,000, you can also do that, and you're gonna sound better because you put more money into it. But most importantly, you just have to know what you're doing with all the shit. I'd rather have a decent engineer on a dog shit setup than to have a dog shit engineer on a decent setup any day, every day, 365 days a year. But my actual advice, like for what to do, is just do this shit. Don't overcomplicate it. Everybody comes to me and they're like, "Oh, I've been waiting for this." Shut up. Put the music out. Just drop it right now. It's free and easy. Maybe not. You might have to buy a $20 subscription to DistroKid, but there are sites that'll let you do it for free. Like, it breaks down to two things, right? There's people who go and they try to find the right way to do everything, and they study the industry, and they try to make a big splash. And sometimes those people even do make a big splash. But by the time they made that splash, somebody like me has already put out 20 songs. And I've learned everything that the person who waited a year to put out their song and me who put out 20 songs in a year, we learned the same amount. We both been studying, but the difference is that I've got 20 instances of experience now. Not only that, but I might even have a fan base by this point. I might even have people who are latching onto and liking some of these songs. You know what I mean? Like the people who take initiative, that's who's gonna win. Just like with any job, like you could go work at Burger King. And if you just take initiative and you just do shit that needs to be done, even if it's not perfect, you're the one that's doing it, you're gonna rise to the top so much faster than somebody who just waits until they learn how to do everything the right way or this or that. So just do it, bro. And most people aren't dropping enough. That's another thing, is like drop until something's working. If you don't have anything doing, hundreds of thousands of streams a month, then just keep dropping. You haven't done anything that works yet, and if it's working on a small scale, if you're getting thousands of streams on something, but it's just not blowing up, push it harder. Keep making videos. Like, that's my number one advice to everybody, I guess, is just make music, put it on the internet, make videos about it, repeat until it works. And, keep changing up little things. You'll get better at making videos. You'll get clever ideas that will grab people's attention and stuff. That'll come over time. Just don't even worry about that. Just drop. Just drop. And that's basically my advice, man. I think, like, when it comes to, like, the business end, if you're really, really not good with computers, my first recommendation is to get familiar and get good with computers. Because you're going to need them a lot. Not just computers, but phones, technology in general. You're going to need it a lot. And the better you are at it, the more money you're going to save and the more control you're going to have over your own career. But if you absolutely can't, figure it out or whatever, find somebody that can, man. And that's the other part of this, is just like, find a team who can fill in the blanks that you can't. But every time you do that, you give up a little bit of control, a little bit of money, a little bit of control. Even if it's not costing you anything right now, when you make a lot of money, you need to pay those people, right? So, yeah, man. And other than that, it's not complicated. I think that, like, the people at the top of the industry want you to believe it's complicated because they want you to believe that you need a label, you need this, and labels have formulas. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, first you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this, and you got to do this or this don't happen. And then we're going to send you here, and here because of this, that, and the third, right? But it's like, none of that has to happen. There's people who wake up every day and make music in their living room and make a living, a comfortable living, and they never had to follow any of those label steps. You know what I mean? So, and maybe there is a ceiling for that, right? But I don't know. I've known people that have made a lot of money just waking up and making music by themselves. You know what I mean? So, yeah, don't overcomplicate things. Don't spend too much on it. People always say you gotta spend money to make money. It's not really. It's kind of true. Like, you gotta buy your studio setup or whatever, but you don't gotta spend that much. Like, if it's not working without any money behind it, it's not gonna work with money behind it. No matter how much money you put behind it, it's not gonna move the needle at all because it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? So, if you do have money to spend, then just keep dropping songs until something works organically and then put some money behind that. But even then, I would be very careful, bro, because 9 times out of 10, putting some money behind something doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything. So, like in my experience, like I haven't put money behind any of my songs really. Like I've done like little things here or there that cost like $50, $100, or like contests where if you win you get this, that, and the third. But I don't run ads. I don't even buy cover art. I just make it myself. And if it looks like shit, it doesn't really matter, bro. And I know the graphic designer is gonna be pissed to hear me say that, but like it just doesn't matter. Same thing with music videos. Like they're cool to have. I've done them before, but they don't move the needle, bro. Nobody cares. Well, and it's not even that nobody cares because they are cool, but it's like it costs $500 minimum for a low tier video that doesn't even look that good. You're spending $500 and then you get to post it once to your TikTok, Instagram, whatever. And I mean, you can post it more than that, but then you're just some guy reposting his same music video over and over. Like, nobody wants to see that, So it's much easy. It's free and easy as hell to set your phone up, make a couple TikToks promoting your song, make 5 TikToks promoting your song, and then post those every single day. That's almost a week's worth of content right there. And it's always different. It's always gonna grab the viewer in a different way, and you can keep posting the same song without tiring everybody out. So yeah, man, don't overcomplicate it. You don't need a manager if you're not already making a living off of music, like a good living where you can pay all your bills, you got health insurance, all the whole 9 yards. You don't need a manager. It's so goofy. I mean, like artists that are like smaller than me even, and they're like, oh, this is my manager. I'm like, for what? Like, y'all are dividing up the poverty. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I guess if y'all have specific questions or whatever, you could drop them in the comments. If you want a part 2 to this, I'll make as many parts as y'all want. But the overall gist of this, and oh yeah, and here's the other thing is, like, I know this sounds goofy because I'm making a video giving y'all advice, but like, I guess my point kind of in all this as well is like, nobody's advice is gonna save you. Just do the shit, bro. Just drop music, promote music, rinse, repeat. That's my advice. Because everybody else got all this advice. Oh, well, you need to do this. You need to try. Oh, man, you got to make a TikTok dance. Like, shut up. None of that shit matters, bro. It can matter. Maybe that is something that's worked for somebody else. But, like, nobody else is ever going to be able to give you the exact advice you need. You need to figure it out. And even if somebody does give you the advice and they say, oh, try this, this, and this, and you do that, and your shit, you see it moves the needle, what are you gonna do? You're gonna keep going back to that same guy and be like, all right, now what do I do next? No, you need to figure this out on your own, bro. Figure out what works for you and just do that over and over and over and over and over. But a lot of y'all, the first thing y'all need to do is make way more music. Like, y'all made like 3 songs in the past year and you're like, oh, I know I'm good. I know I got what it takes to make it. But it's like bullshit. If you knew you had what it took to make it, you'd make way more music. You'd drop way more music. You'd post way more. People who don't make music that much and don't drop that much and don't post that much, like, like deep down, it can't be that good. It can't be that good, or you'd be in the studio all the time because you'd love doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only time people don't love doing this shit is when they're not very good at it, or when they're unsure of themselves, or whatever. So that's the other thing. Quick play-by-play to take somebody from never making music to being a famous rapper. Here's exactly what I would do. I would make them make 100 songs in a short amount of time too, in like a month. I'll be like, make me 100 songs in a month. I don't care how good they are. I don't care how bad they are. I don't care. Just make 100 songs. It don't even matter what they sound like. And then once they make those 100 songs and they come back to me, I'd say, okay, now we're really going to think about it and make music with intention and say, what are we trying to say? How are we trying to say it? Who are we trying to say it to? And then you're going to make 100 more songs. So you're up to 200 songs now. And again, it really don't matter if they're good or not. If you make 200 songs, number one, you're going to find some that are decent out of that. You're going to find, they might not be perfect, but you're going to find a couple that are like, okay, that makes me feel something. And then you just tweak and tune those tracks until you got them to a releasable level. But if you make 100 songs, if you make 200 songs, like, you're gonna, and you listen to the last song you made and the first song you made, you're gonna notice a huge difference. You're gonna notice a difference in how you present your vocals. You're gonna notice a difference in your own mixing and mastering. Even if you're not the one doing the final mixes, just using the program that much, you're gonna get better at it. You're gonna notice a difference in everything. Your writing is gonna improve. Your lyricism is gonna improve wickedly, like crazy. And you're just gonna figure out a lot of what matters and what doesn't matter. And then same goes for dropping music. It's like, once you get your music to a point where it's like, okay, this is good enough to show people, this is good enough to release, it doesn't have to be your, magnum opus or whatever. It doesn't have to be this beautiful masterpiece. It just has to be good enough to where people can catch a vibe to it and it doesn't kill the vibe at a party. Then once you get it there, drop 100 songs, like in a year, boom, 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 every week, one a week, two a week, one a week with a mixtape every 3 months. Drop, because the same is true for dropping as it is for, well, it's actually more important when it comes to dropping music, because it's like, you establish this relationship with the fans and you gotta be consistent, because there's so many other people out there who will be consistent, who will put their new music in these fans' faces, that if you're not doing it, it's like, it's almost a disservice to the fans. They don't have time to Google you once a week or check your socials once a week and see what you've been doing. No, you gotta get it in front of them. So yeah, just drop a lot. And then on top of dropping a lot, when you finally have a song that pops, because I'm gonna be real, it's probably not gonna be one of the first 10 songs you drop. It's probably not gonna be one of the first 30 songs you drop. It's probably not gonna be one of the first 50 songs you drop that pops you off. But when you finally have a song, when you drop that 70-second song, and that's money right there. It's a hit, and everybody loves it. And then you start seeing all your numbers go up. All of those people are going to go back to your catalog and find the other shit that they like. And when they do that, you're going to get rich. If you have no music out and one of the first songs you put out does really well, you're going to make the money off of that one song, which is cool. It might be a nice check, but imagine if you had 71 other songs for them to go listen to. Because if you gain 1 million new listeners off of a new song, and let's say half of those people come to stream your catalog, that's 500,000 people streaming 71 songs. What's the math on that? It's like 4 million streams that you wouldn't have got had you not had a catalog out. That's 4 million streams that you're getting, even if they hate all of those songs. That's 4 million streams that you just got. That's fucking $15,000, $20,000 almost. That you got because you had music out. And now let's say they go back to your catalog. What's more likely to happen is those people go back to your catalog and then they find more songs that they like. So let's say they find 5 or 6 more songs that they like. They add those to their playlist. Every week they jam those a few times. So that 4 million streams that you got off of your back catalog turns into 10, 15, 20 million streams because you had more music that those people like. Because you made 100 songs before you even thought about dropping. You know what I'm saying? Just and the making 100 songs point back on that. It's like, it's very important that you become good at this shit to a point where you can decide at any moment to sit down and write a song. Not saying it's gonna be your best song every time, but you can wake up first thing in the morning, cook a song. You can unexpectedly create, because it's what you do. It's who you are. You got to make it who you are. It's not like a job you can clock into and then clock out of, because what's going to happen is you're going to start running into opportunities. The more that you push, you're going to run into opportunities where it's like, oh, so-and-so says, let's jump in the studio. And it don't matter if you've been up all day. It don't matter if you've been traveling. Nobody cares what's going on in your life. They want to know, can you show up in that studio and make a song right now? And if you can, you're going to open the door to a lot of opportunities. So yeah, man, just basically, to put this whole video in a nutshell, this 20-minute video in a nutshell, make a shitload of music, bro. And it doesn't even matter how good it is. You're gonna figure out how to make it. If you make 100 songs, you're gonna figure out how to make way better music by the time you get to 99 and 100. There's no way you don't. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I guess that's my advice for upcoming artists, and I hope it helps. If y'all want more parts to this, if y'all got specific questions you want answered, drop them in the comments. Most underrated. New music out now. Shows coming up in 9 days. I'll be in Nebraska, or 8 days. I'll be in Nebraska. And November 22nd, I'll be in Leonardtown, Maryland. So y'all pop out to them shows, and I love y'all.